Let's talk about the biggest news in Southfield this year, the approved data center being built by Metro Blocks. Hi, my name is David Fisher, and please download our Southfield guide. It tells you everything you need to know about the city of Southfield. The link's below. First, I want to define what a data center is. It's a large group of computers, and in this case, it's used for artificial intelligence. It's a brain to operate these computers and give you the responses you look for when you jump on ChatGPT for your questions. Without data centers, we wouldn't have the AI and the ChatGPTs we've become used to. Today, we're going to go over the good and the bad about what's going on with this data center. Make sure you stay tuned to the end so you can see my final thoughts on what this will mean for you. It sits on over 12 acres of land right off of 696. Right now it's a vacant parcel. You've probably passed by it 100 times. There's nothing there. Soon you'll see a data center sitting right there. The building itself will be over 200,000 square feet, but it'll be 109,000 square foot footprint for this building. Although approved through the city council, and it approved through a 5-2 vote after 6 hours of deliberation, so this is not something they took lightly, the data center will still be regulated through local permitting laws, as well as state laws that were passed in Michigan for this exact kind of thing. Back in 2023, when AI really started to take off, they passed laws in our state to make sure that they could lower the environmental impact and regulate data centers in the state. Now, the data center in Southfield as proposed is not a mega facility. It's more of a middle of the road. It's not tiny either, but it's not as big as some of the other data centers that are being proposed across the nation and in northern Michigan. I want to talk about the good of what this data center will mean for the area. Obviously, the economic impact and the job creation. The construction process will create jobs for blue and white collar workers alike, stimulating the economy in the near term. In the longer term, for the job market, there will be 35 full-time jobs associated with the data center, or at least that's the thought right now. This positions Southfield to be ahead of the curve in technology. The people they'll bring in to build this data center, to operate this data center, it breeds more opportunity when you have state-of-the-art technical engineers coming to your city. Another great thing about the data center is it's going to have a closed loop system. What that means is it recirculates the water, so you're not losing a lot of water. It's not going to damage the environment in that way. Like you always hear how it takes water away from the local lakes and all that. That's not the case here. It's going to use the same water over and over. It'll also have its own dedicated substation. This means that it'll have its own power supply. It won't be on the same grid as, say, your house, right? For a city that thrives on having a lot of different businesses, having a data center can be beneficial. It's great to have that infrastructure when you have hospitals, Fortune 500 companies. It means a lot having that right there for these businesses and helping them grow as well. This infrastructure will be no different than having highways in the near future. Cities with highways typically tend to do a little bit better than cities without. So kind of think of the data center as moving towards the future. We can't talk about the good without talking about the bad. The city states that this project shouldn't impact your electric rates. Whenever a municipality says something shouldn't happen, it means that it still can. So it's something you definitely want to keep an eye on. Natural ecosystems could be impacted through noise pollution, electromagnetic interference, and air pollution. Obviously, these are concerns of residents. We really don't know how it will impact humans or animals because this is such a new technology. We don't really have a lot of data centers to draw from. Think of it kind of like vaping. You know, when everybody said, hey, you should just start vaping instead of smoking cigarettes. Well, you don't really know what long-term effects can happen with something when it's such a new thing and you don't have data to draw from. AI isn't just the future. It's the right now. And with public consumption of artificial intelligence rising daily, data centers are going to start popping up across the country left and right. With this being the first data center in our metro area, it is imperative to monitor this. Not only now, while it's a headline in the news, but for the next decade and beyond. Us, our kids' kids could be impacted by the moves we make right now. We must stay diligent and keep our safety top of mind while accepting this fast-paced and changing world that we live in.